Dear all, good morning. I am Miss Noble A. Paliath, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Sacred Heart College for Women, Chalagudi. Hope you all have seen and watched the previous video on Sue Townsend's The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole, aged 13, 3 by 4. What follows today is a detailed explanation of a few extracts from the secret diary dated on Wednesday 14th January and Saturday 17th January. Before moving into the details of today's class, let's try to memorize and recollect certain ideas as conveyed by me in the previous class. The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole, aged 13 3 by 4, in the words of David Williams, is a genuine phenomenon. According to J.K. Rowling, this book gave me so many laughs. So, when I juxtapose these two critical verdicts, I can frame a sentence the following way. The fictional account of the various episodes in the life of Adrian Mole is rendered so realistically and is peppered with a series of jokes. The novel is definitely enjoyable and is an amusing read. So, let's enjoy. A diary entry is a form of literature. It is a kind of autobiographical writing. It is branded as a personal narrative. It is designated as a self-narrative. The word diary is derived from the Latin word diarium, D-I-A-R-I-U-M, which means day or daily allowance. Someone who keeps a diary, who writes a diary, is known as a diarist. The diary entry that is prescribed for you begins when Adrian Mole is 13 3 by 4 year old and ends when he attains the age of 15. So today we are going to learn in depth about the two diary entries dated on Wednesday 14th January and Saturday 17th January. In these diary entries, we come to figure out and understand about four different characters. The librarian, Adrian Mole's teachers, the intellectually superior girlfriend Pandora, and the dermatologist who is being consulted by Adrian Mole by name Dr. Taylor. Now, let's get into the field of narration. Adrian Mole introduces himself as a school goer. As a newcomer to the school, he joined the library. Now he took 3 books from the library: Origin of Species, Care of the Skin, and Pride and Prejudice, a novel by the 18th century English novelist Jane Austen. He says, being a schoolboy, aged 13 3 by 4, taking 3 books, that too on his first visit to the library. The librarian was impressed. The identity of the librarian is not revealed. Let it be he or she. The librarian might have thought about me as an intellectual. Hence, the first impression, the best impression. Adrian Moll says, but that person didn't notice, didn't recognize, failed to identify the appearance of spots, the appearance of scars and blemishes on my face. Thank God. Then he says about his teachers. He says he feels very sorry, extremely sorry for his teachers. Why? Because they failed to understand, they failed to recognize the intellect in him. And one day they will be apologizing for this failure. They will feel sorry when I become famous. Now we have the third character getting introduced by Adrian Moll, and that is his intellectually superior girlfriend Pandora, who is affectionately called by him as Boxer. He says, she sits next to me in the geography class. And we meet the last character, Dr. Taylor. The dermatologist, the skin specialist, and the GP. General practitioner, not Govind Padmasurya. Okay, students? GP can be expanded as general practitioner. The dermatologist consulted by Adrian Moll is Dr. Taylor. Now, Dr. Taylor can be understood as the originator, the initiator, a source of solace and comfort, according to Adrian Moll. Why? Because he opens up. Okay? He tells everything, his anxiety, his tensions, his worries, everything is being opened up to Dr. Taylor. Adrian Moll always complains about his inconducive and incongenial family environment and circumstances. He introduces himself to the physician as an unfed, malnourished, and undernourished boy. This is all what constitutes the frustrations and disappointments of a teenage boy called Adrian Moll. And see the reply given by Dr. Taylor. We find him a bit accommodative. He is able to understand Adrian Moll from the viewpoint, from the standpoint of a teenage boy with all his anxieties and tensions and worries. The doctor advised him, nothing is wrong with your life. Everything is all right at home. There is no room for worry. There is no space for worry in your life. Just go home and start counting your blessings. And that is done. So that is all about the 2 diary entries that I promised to explain in today's class. Dear students, before I conclude, let me tell you something about the personality of Adrian Moll. As you all know, Adrian Moll is in his teen years. Okay, aged 13, 3 by 4. And Sue Townsend depicts Adrian Mole as a teenage boy having all sorts of mannerisms, peculiarities, and behavioral patterns of a typical teenager. Adrian Mole is portrayed as insecure, impatient, frustrated, defiant, moody, and all the more sad and frustrated. Dear students, in the next class, I will be discussing the rest of the diary entries. The first diary entry is titled as Full Moon. My mother is looking for a job. So, until we meet again, stay tuned. Thank you.